We often imagine peace as something hidden in distant mountains, found only after we leave behind the noise of our responsibilities. This belief has followed humanity for centuries. The idea that silence exists elsewhere, always away from where we stand. But peace does not wait in the forest or the monastery. These places only show us what has always been within. When we walk into solitude carrying confusion, we simply meet our confusion more clearly. Many people arrive at retreats hoping to escape their own minds. They believe that by stepping away from daily life, the restless heart will finally settle. Yet the mind follows us everywhere. Even in a quiet room with no obligations, the same thoughts return. The regrets we hold, the fears we postpone, the uncertainty we resist. Retreats can give us space, but they cannot give us escape. Because what we run from is inside us. When we misunderstand peace as distance from life, we create a cycle of chasing and returning. We go away, feel calm for a moment, then come home and find the same turbulence waiting. Then we imagine we need to leave again. This is not liberation. It is dependence. The truth is simpler and more intimate. Peace is not made by withdrawing from life, but by meeting life without resistance. It is not granted by a distant temple, but by our willingness to sit with our own mind as it is. When we stop imagining that calm exists somewhere else, we stop running. And when we stop running, the heart begins to breathe again. We often overlook the quiet that already surrounds us because we have trained our attention to search for something dramatic. We expect peace to feel grand or transformative, as if the world should suddenly shift into softness. Yet true quiet is subtle. It hides in the pauses between breaths, in the moment before we speak, in the instant when we finish one task and have not yet begun the next. Ordinary life is full of these small openings, but the mind rushes past them, convinced that stillness must be found somewhere far away. When people come to me asking where tranquility lives, I tell them to listen to the sound of their own footsteps. Within each step is a rhythm that does not hurry. Within each breath is a gentleness that asks for nothing. The mistake is not that life is too noisy. The mistake is that we are listening only to the noise. We forget that silence is always present beneath everything, like a river flowing beneath the earth. Daily life provides us with endless invitations to return to this quiet. When we wash a cup, when we sit at a red light, when we wait for water to boil, these moments are often dismissed as empty or unimportant. But they are the doorway to the peace we seek. The mind wants to move quickly through them, searching for the next task, the next achievement, the next distraction. Peace becomes visible the moment we stop following that momentum. In truth, the world does not need to change for us to experience calm. We only need to notice what is already here. When the mind becomes simple, even the busiest day contains room to breathe. And when we learn to recognize the quiet woven into ordinary moments, we begin to understand that retreat is not a place we travel to, but a way of being we carry with us. Restlessness is not a sign that something is wrong with our lives. It is a sign that something within us is asking to be understood. Yet our first instinct is often to push it away. We distract ourselves, we keep busy, we imagine that if we simply change our environment, the unsettled feeling will dissolve. But restlessness grows stronger when ignored. It softens only when we turn toward it. Many people believe that spiritual practice should feel peaceful, as though the mind will immediately quiet when we sit down to breathe. But practice often reveals the opposite. The moment we stop moving, the thoughts we buried rise to the surface. This is not failure, it is clarity. The mind is showing us what has been carried for years. When we run away from these inner storms, they continue to shape our lives without our awareness. When we face them gently, their power begins to lessen. To sit with restlessness is to sit with our own humanity. It means allowing discomfort without forcing it to leave. It means acknowledging uncertainty without demanding immediate answers. When the heart learns to stay present with what it fears, a deeper strength emerges, one that does not depend on changing circumstances. This strength grows quietly, like a candle that continues to burn even in a draft. Some imagine that retreat will erase their agitation, but retreat only removes distractions. It cannot remove what is unresolved within us. The true work is learning to remain steady in the middle of our thoughts without clinging to them, without pushing them away. When we practice this, even for a few moments at a time, the restless energy loses its urgency. It becomes just another movement of the mind, no different from breath or sound. Peace does not come from finally getting rid of restlessness. It comes from no longer fearing its arrival. When we stop treating it as an enemy, we discover that it, too, is a teacher guiding us toward a more spacious way of living. We often imagine refuge as a sheltered place that protects us from life's difficulties. But refuge is not an escape from experience. It is a deeper meeting with experience. The present moment is the only place where the mind can truly rest, because it is the only place where nothing needs to be held, defended, or controlled. Yet we spend most of our lives leaning into the future or drifting into the past, searching for safety in places where the mind cannot settle. When people ask how to return to the present, I tell them to begin with the body. The body never leaves this moment. It breathes here. It stands here. It walks here. When we bring awareness to the breath, to the rhythm of movement, or to the sensations of sitting, the mind slows down and remembers its home. This remembering is not dramatic. It is a soft returning. Again and again, each time we notice that the mind has wandered. The present moment has a quality unlike any other. It does not demand perfection. It does not ask us to resolve our entire life at once. It simply invites us to be here, to feel, to breathe, to allow things to be as they are. When we rest in this space, we begin to see our thoughts more clearly. Instead of being pulled by them, we watch them arise and fall like waves on a shore. This gentle witnessing is the foundation of inner freedom. Many people seek peace by rearranging their external conditions, believing that calm will come once everything is finally in order. But even in the quietest environment, unrest continues if the mind does not know how to return to the present. And even in the busiest environment, calm appears the moment we remember our breath. The true refuge is not found in silence or solitude. It is found in awareness. When we learn to stay with this moment, without rushing past it, we discover that the present is not something small or narrow. It is spacious, steady, and always available, no matter where we stand. Peace is often spoken of as if it were a final achievement, something we reach after enough practice, discipline, or retreat. But peace is not a place we arrive at. It is a way of relating to each moment. It grows through the small choices we make throughout the day. The choice to breathe instead of react, to observe instead of judge, to soften instead of tighten. These choices may seem ordinary, yet they shape the entire landscape of our inner life. Many people wait for the perfect conditions before they allow themselves to feel calm. They tell themselves, once work becomes easier, or once this problem is solved, then the mind will finally settle. But life does not unfold according to our plans. New challenges appear, old worries return, and the world continues to shift. If we depend on circumstances for our peace will always be fragile. Real practice is learning to remain steady in the midst of constant change. It is discovering that peace is not created by controlling life, but by being in harmony with it. When anger arises, we notice it. When fear appears, we breathe with it. When joy comes, we allow it to be fully felt. Nothing needs to be pushed away or held onto. Peace is simply the spaciousness that appears when we stop fighting our experience. As this understanding deepens, we realize that retreat is never far from us. It lives in our breath, our posture, our willingness to pause. It lives in the way we speak to others, and in the patience we offer ourselves. When we approach each moment with awareness and kindness, even the busiest day becomes part of our spiritual path. In this way, peace becomes less like a distant dream and more like a familiar companion. It walks with us as we work, as we rest, as we navigate the joys and sorrows of daily life. It does not depend on where we go, but on how we choose to be. In the reflections shared today, we explored a simple but easily forgotten truth. Peace does not wait in distant retreats, nor does it bloom only in silence or solitude. It is found in the heart that no longer runs from itself. We looked at how the longing to escape often comes from misunderstanding peace as something outside of us, when in reality, it lives quietly within the present moment. We saw that ordinary life already holds countless invitations to calm, that facing our restlessness is an act of courage, and that awareness, not isolation, is our true refuge. And finally, we return to the understanding that peace is not a destination, but a daily practice, shaped by gentle choices, steady attention, and the willingness to meet each moment as it is. If these teachings offered you insight or comfort, I warmly invite you to support this channel. Please subscribe, like the video, and share it with anyone who may benefit from a softer way of approaching life. And if you wish to receive future teachings as soon as they are released, you are welcome to click the bell icon. May these reflections accompany you wherever you go, and may the peace within you continue to deepen with each step you take.